Hey everyone, Adam here. This is a 9-ball match against my good friend and league partner Matt. We are playing a race to 7. I am giving him 3 games on the wire. As usual, he won the coin flip. I do have a neat little Telestrator software that I've been toying around with. So let's just dive right into the video and get started here and see how this is going to work. Alright, like I said, Matt wins all the coin flips somehow, so we just let him break. A little bit out of control on the break there, arms flailing around. Looking at the rack here, the 1 is in a weird spot. Getting on the 2 is kind of weird, but I'm not sure there's a really good safety to play. If I could clip the 1, let's try that Telestrator here. If I could clip the 1 off this way, send the cue all down here, the 1 goes here, that may work. I may just be going all out to make this. Yeah. I just went all out to make this, hopefully going into the 3 and just keeping the cue ball up here somewhere so I at least had some shot on the 2. Now what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to play the 2 off the 7. The 2 ball goes this way and the cue ball kind of stays right here. Instead, I get this cool kiss from the 7 and leaves the 1 ball right in between the 9 and the 5, which was exactly what I was trying to do. No, actually it wasn't. Yeah, and that Matt points is that he worked in my head. I mean, I was trying a safety very similar to that, just that the 2 ball would be further over and the 1 ball would kind of be in line. You know, one or the cue ball will be a little bit further over here, 2 ball will be over here. So it's almost the same kind of safety. This just one, because of the extra kiss from the 7, looked kind of cooler. Matt is looking to kick this, depending on which way. For me, I think I like going the way he's going better. He's probably going to kick straight on. I like the 2-rail approach, going into it. The cue ball flies up this way. He's going to get it, but he's not going to get a rail. Matt, you got a little pokey there. Even on safety, he's got to do the smooth transition from backswing to 4-string. So here the 2, 3, 4 are just, I won't say stop shots because I'm going to move the cue ball a little bit. They're obvious. What I need to do is I need to angle on the 4 somewhere in like this line, so that I can then play the 4 off this rail in here into the line of position on the 5. I came a little bit too far. I can still play the same shot. I'm just using lower little left here to come out this way into the line, into the position line of the 5. Just because I did that, I was in more danger of scratching because I had less angle and I had to kind of force it. Here, a stop shot or just flow a little bit further for the 6 in the upper left is probably good. That's probably, I don't know if that's what I was trying or not. I don't know if the 7 goes on the right side. That's the problem. It looks like it does here. It might be a little touchy. I could probably play the 6, draw the cue ball over this way. I did kind of the same thing, although I wanted to use, instead of getting that angle, I wanted to get some top left on it, so it will go here and then heading over to the 7. This is a pretty tough angle on this 7 ball because I'm going to hit the point coming out, and I just have to, I should have concentrated on just making it as opposed to following it off the point. And as a result, I hit the rail a little bit. Oh, it actually did go in. I thought I missed that one. But the problem is, because I didn't have a way to leave it, I have this tougher shot in the 8. Have to play it in and go 1 rail out, kind of straight at the 9. Almost like a drag shot or a pinch draw shot, or however you want to describe it. And because I did that and I hit it awfully, I sold out the game here. Didn't leave Matt with a great shot. He's going 8 in the side. What he's going to have to watch out for is the cue ball is kind of going down this way. I don't think you can hold it here. And when you come off the rail, it's going to head down this way. I think what you need to do is play it hard enough that you're getting all the way back around for the 9 in the bottom right. We'll see as Matt lines the shot up here what happens with the cue ball. A lot of times you can be so focused on making this ball because it's not an easy cut that you lose track of the cue ball, and he hit it in just a way that it kind of came off the way I said it would, but I think a little bit of right spin and a more power would have been necessary for there. You could also have banked it cross side. Sometimes you're in the spot where you just have to do it. Now he has to play this just straight in the side. There's no other shot. He might try a safety, but I think just going for the ball is the best way to go. Very, very pokey, but he got it home. He might have had to poke at it because of how close the cue ball was. Now, I don't know what happened there. Something in the video editing software skipped a whole bunch of stuff. But it did not cut out any video here. It just kind of was having issues with the speed on the fast forward. I like to fast forward all setting up the balls between racks, but for some reason that didn't work. This is I can't see the side of the 1, so I'm going to push out basically to right here. I hit this too hard. I wanted it on the rail, and it's enough off that he can do something with the cue ball here. Knowing Maddie's going to go at this ball, knowing Maddie's not going to draw it. So he's going to play it down here and just hope the cue ball hits the 9 and stops. 9 could actually go in, depending on how he hits it. I think he has to miss the 1 for the 9 to go in, though. He overcut the 1. And yeah, he did that, exactly that. He overcut the 1, almost made the 9. The problem is the rack is wide open now, and as long as I can make this 1, I'm a decent chance of running out. I'll say decent, not favorite to win or anything like that. But what I'm looking at here is I want to get on. So the pocket line of the 2 ball, if you draw a line straight through, is basically here. What I want to do is I want to be on this side of it so that I can naturally float down for the 3. And instead, I hit the point on the way out and missed the 1. I think I got pretty good on my leave that I could either stun it down or maybe even follow it and try to get past the 5 down. I think I mentioned before, those shots on the rail past the side are something I need to work on, something I have been working on, but I need to work on them more. Seems like every time I miss one, I say, oh yeah, those are something I'm supposed to work on. Matt needs to just make this cue ball should naturally come this way. He kind of has the same issue that I had, though, where he needs to hold it on the top side for the 2. And he was trying to do it, and he held it well. Now, the other thing is, if you're on the bottom side here, like right here, you can shoot the 2 here and come 1 rail up and down. It's just much easier to if you're on the top side, like if you're where the 7 is right now, where the cue was where the 7, you have a really easy, just natural play to go right down, kind of right at the 6 ball. Now here I want to come on the other side of the 4, like that, although I hit the 4. I was trying to play enough inside to get it to catch, to go underneath the 4 to play the 2 in the side here. So I wanted to be cue ball like here, or maybe even where the 4 is, to play it over on the side. Now I'm kind of just sitting at a weird spot because I don't think the 2 goes past the 9. And if it does, I have to follow it straight down without... Yeah, so what I tried to do is I tried to bank the 2 up table, get the 1 ball, or get the cue ball back down here. Even if I didn't get a perfect snooker safe, I would have still had, much tougher shot than this. Now, granted, the 2 managed to sit on the rail, So it's not, Matt doesn't have an easy shot by any means here, but because the cue ball came across and hit the 8s, that stopped the cue ball momentum there. This is kind of a weird shot. I'd almost say go for it with some right spin, send the cue ball down this way, and if you make it, great. If you miss, you might get safe behind this stuff. It's a very, very tough cut. It's right on the rail. I think he might have tried, I'm not sure if he tried to make that or not, or if he tried to play behind the 7. I should have asked him. Here, ideally, I'd like to be able to come like that, but I think I'm going to hit the 4. I don't know if I can go underneath the 4 and still stay there. Yeah, actually I did the first thing. Right, and I actually played it the right way, where I came 2 rails across and hit this side rail over here and bumped out, rather than just playing 1 rail into the side rail and then I have a tougher leave. This one I'm just going straight up and down the table, somewhere up here. And as I've said in previous videos, I'm trying to play, at least on my table here, more off that second rail. So I'm bouncing 1, 2 rails and out. This one, the 5 does not go past the 8. So I think I'm trying to play around the 5. It's probably too much. I probably should not have tried that. And I think, yeah, I'm telling Matt, I was trying to play underneath the 5 to get a shot for the upper left. I should have probably just taken the stop shot and taken the combo. Here, I think I'm just banking it. Hopefully I get either make it and hold, or this happens. So that one, I actually had a number. Unfortunately, I don't have a really good way to rewind the video. But if I would have played it long, cue ball here, 5 goes into the 6 and stays right here. If I played it short like it did, it went off this rail and back in. If I make it, I have a perfect leave on the 6. So this works. I think Matt's trying to clip the top edge of this and not scratch, and he just barely missed. I think I would have looked at playing this shot instead of just trying to clip it, because clipping it, if you hit it too thick, it's going to scratch. Here I have no way to make the 5, so I'm just going to lock him up and see what happens. If not, go for a 3 fall. I'm just going to play the 5 underneath here, lock the cue ball right here. Just like that. And I got it on the good side. It could have been a little higher here and to cut off this bottom rail. I think you can kick to the bottom rail and kick at it. But you think with ball in hand I could get better positioning on, but I was happy to get it locked up almost, near frozen on the 6. But yeah, if I was quarter ball up, even like right there, even though that's probably not a very good cue ball, that would have been much better. And then he was in real trouble. What he's saying, I don't know if he's flipping us off or not, but he's saying that since the 5 ball went through this spot, the cue ball should be able to go through this spot. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. And Matt, again, you're very, very slow on your practice strokes, and you just go wha-bam, and you just kind of backswing, foreswing, and slam the hell out of it. And don't need to do that. Even if you're hitting a power shot, you don't need to do that much acceleration. Here I'm trying to just make this and come 1 rail out. In fact, I think I said I need to float this through the 9 and 6. And that I did. Here I'm going 2 rails, just kind of follow. Sorry, that was bad. Kind of follow 1 rail, 2 rail around, or not, or draw. And I overdrew it by a lot. This is a weird shot because if I try to draw it and the draw catches, I can go right in the side here. So I need to kind of stun this just like that. Make sure I don't draw it too much, just kind of pop off the rail and out. And then here's just a standard, I don't know what we called these shots from last video, just standard out here. Using lower, little bit of lower left. I didn't catch the rail though, so Must have been a lot straighter than I thought, and I drew it almost straight back up the rail. So here to get on the board, it is 4-1. I am on the comeback trail finally. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the footage here. That was supposed to be a fast forward rack, but who knows? Very good break here. I have a shot in the 2, but the 3 does not go anywhere. It looks like the 3 might go past the 8, but it doesn't. So I'm either playing the 2 to make it and playing safe on the 3, or playing safe on the 2. I could play the 2 kind of off the right side of the 4, send the 2 this way, send the cue ball here, here, and back behind there. Let's see what I do here. I think I tried to make it, and I was just going to do something on the 3. Probably play it. I don't know what I was going to do because it didn't go past the 8. Now Matt should play cue ball off the way we're looking at it, the right side of the 2. And just kind of wedge it in there. The 2's going to go this way. Even if he doesn't get it behind the 8, he should be able to use these balls as blockers. Get one of them on either side. I think he tried to cut it. He did try to cut it. He got really close to cutting it. Yeah, man, it's still a little too pokey at the... Now I'm going rail first here to try to get some kind of shot on the 3. Instead, we have this mess. And this is not an easy kick. I either have to go here with a lot of right spin and try to get into it without hitting the 7, or here with a lot of draw and left spin to try to hit the 3, which is what I tried. It actually got too much spin on it. You can see how it warped off the rail there. Gave Matt ball in hand. A couple different ways Matt can play this. He can, cue ball here or so. He can play one rail and over this way, or he can draw and bring it back more this way for the 4 on the side. It's all going to depend on his comfort level, his draw stroke at the time. I think he's just going to play. And in fact, if he plays just over for the 4, he doesn't even need draw on it, just kind of center ball for the 4 on the upper left. And he kind of did in between both. He got okay because he has a shot over here. You almost never want to hit a ball in this situation. The problem now is he's going to be on the top side of the 6. So if we try to draw a straight line here, he wants to be realistically on this side of the pocket line of the 6 ball so he can naturally go up for the 7. Instead, now he's way on the other side. I don't know if he can miss the 9 now because he's going to make the 6 down here again, but I don't know if he can miss the 9 coming around this way. You could power draw it, but then you're going, kind of go just straight across in this way, but the 8 is a big ball there. He's kind of in trouble here getting on the 7. Yeah, he tried to do the first thing, and I think he put some draw on it and just kind of sent it right towards the corner pocket. I'm going to try something here. If it butchers the video, I apologize. I'm going to back it up just a little bit. That was a little too far. I don't really have there's no marker system in OBS for videos. So I don't have a really good way to find where I was. I'm probably never going to do this again. All right, so we're here. I'm going to pause it. One thing you can do, if you can hit this ball, if you can make the 6 and you're going to hit part of the 9, you can actually draw with low what would be right off the 9 ball, you get a ton of draw then, and it's going to go into this rail and then spin and fire up the table there. It's hard to control, but it is a possible shot that might have been available. I am not going to try to pause the video again, and that's why I haven't done it yet. I wish there was like a arrow keys to fast forward or rewind or something like that, move 5 seconds like you can on YouTube. But in OBS, there's a slider, and it doesn't really tell you where you are, so you could tell I was all over the place. So we're going to watch Matt scratch again because I don't want to try to fast forward it and wind up in the wrong spot. He might have been trying to draw off the 9. Yeah, he was just... that shot might have been there, it might have not been. It's really hard to tell from this angle. You'd have to really be on the ball to try it. That's definitely more of an advanced technique that not a lot of people know about. Drawing off of another ball has to do with the amount of spin and speed that's coming off the ball when you transfer from the cue ball to the object ball. Now here, I don't know why I line it up like this because I was dead straight. All I had to do was move the cue ball a little bit, and I would have been fine to just move it over a foot to be probably here, as opposed to right on top of it. Now I have to use this dreaded thing with the bridge head and the house cue and holding the cue funny and hitting it and trying to get out of the way and trying not to scratch and trying not to miscue. And needless to say, I need to practice with the bridge more. However, he is dead snookered here, and not in a way where he can go rail first this way. I mean, if you can curve it like I just did with my wonderful straight line there, you can. But Mass A this far up the table is really, really tough because you never know when the Mass A is going to take. It has to take basically at the perfect time. You know, you're going here, you're going here, you're going here, and then the curve has to come in and hit it. It's a very tough shot. The 9 is kind of blocking this one rail kick, well, which is drew right into the side. So he pretty much has to go ahead of the 9 in here and out. Not an easy shot by any means. You'd think for as many times as you try to kick a ball and scratch, you could always just try to scratch. The natural angle is taking it very short. He needed to widen that up. The key to that one is you want to over widen it because you actually want it to come in here, hit the 7, and then come out. That ball was pretty deep in the pocket because the guy playing with the bridge made a really almost good shot and almost made it. But not really. I did not think I could draw it that much. I thought I was just going to stun straight over, but I'm still good here. And I kind of joke that I practice these shots a lot. I don't joke. I say it all in all my videos. Like, if you want to get really good at these shots, put the 9 ball or the 10 ball or whatever you play with right there, like right where it's racked, and play from all over the table. And I do practice those a lot. I'm on the board. It's 4-2. Again, we just missed the entire rack, which it might not be bad. I know other people do that. I'm trying to get this thing out of here without hitting the ball. Made a ball. I don't really have a shot. If I can overcut this straight down the table, bring the cue ball off the rail into the 5, that might be good. That's exactly what I tried. I think I left a window, though. It's hard to tell from this angle. I keep trying to move my head over to see, but obviously that doesn't work. At the least, Matt can come down here with some right spin and come into it. If he can, he might be able to just make this. Like I said, it's hard to tell from this angle. And this is the only camera I have, and I'm not going to invest in more because video editing is tough enough. I might invest in more at some point in my life, but for now, no. Yeah, I gave him enough to make it. I think he was just focusing on making the ball and not really leave there. The natural angle was going to send the cue ball over here anyway. It got a little goofy on the 3. I would play it up in this corner with stun, have the cue ball come over here, if not completely out over one, back and forth. Or if you can, I mean, if you can stun it all the way over here, you can play the 4 on the side and use the 6 as a stopper. And then the 5 is right there. You don't want to move the 6 too much because you still want to be able to get on it for another shot. I don't know how comfortable he is with these shots, with being able to stun him. I know he's pretty comfortable following him. Yeah, that's exactly what he tried. And actually, he would have had the 4 down here just fine. I'm a little bit off angle here. I don't know if I can follow it with some inside and the cue ball comes this way, or if I have to go all the way around this mess. Yeah, I can follow it a little bit inside, and okay. The only problem here is the cue ball is heading this way. If I can follow it directly into the 6 and kind of send the 6 this way, it'll be good. I don't know if I can do that or not. Yep, that's exactly what I did. So then here, probably pop out one rail here. If I'm too straight in, I'm just going to basically stop it. The cue ball is going to drift a little bit over this way. Yeah, just like that. And it did it too much. And I'm on the complete blind angle of this. The 8-ball makes things worse. Yeah, the 8-ball wasn't even here. This is going to be a hard enough shot to play down here anyway. Down in this corner. As it is, the 8-ball is in the way. Even though it's not in the way of the shot, it's kind of in your line of vision, and it's kind of harder to see around. Instead, I just go for it, drained it, ton of draw, one railing back, and get almost perfect on the 7. A couple different ways to play this. I could come one or 2 rails out for the 8. I can come 1 rail back here for the 8 in the side. I just did the 2 rail back. What you want to be, though, the problem here is you either want to be here or you want to be here. Being right here means I have to stop it, and the cue ball is going to kind of drift this way. Oh, actually, if you hit it that badly, the cue ball drifts this way, and you hit the rail about here and somehow still make the 8-ball. These are tight pockets. These are Diamond Pro Cut. They're just shy of 4.5 inches with diamond rubber, and it's all brand new in October. So these are, it plays like a tight diamond bar box, although it's an 8-foot table. Yeah, I don't know why the video is doing that. I'm going to stop bringing it up. But I'm on the comeback trail again. It's 4-3. Again, trying to get the... I break with a brake pad because otherwise, if you break 100 times in the same spot, you're going to notice burn marks for sure in the felt. But even with Simonis, the good quality felt, you can start to put little holes in it. I definitely don't want that, so I always break with a brake pad. It's not a big deal if a ball runs over. It's a little bit worse than going over the rack or the template. But otherwise, you just kind of get it out of the way as soon as you can. It's in a weird spot here. The 2 is in a weird... It's in just kind of... Everything's weird here. And I noticed that we're not making the corner ball on the break anymore, so that's going to come up soon. He tried to poke at it and draw it back like here. Not really this elevated, but that's what he tried to do, and instead he miscued and snookered himself. And if that European ref Marcel is officiating the game, he probably calls that a foul. Otherwise, everyone else knows it's a miscue and was not done on purpose. If he can hit this, I don't know if he can hit this ball or not. Is he trying to go here and here? Yeah. He was trying to go short side and go into the 2, and it's funny because I had a shot like that last night in leagues and it didn't work, and then I set it up after the game and I tried it 3 different times and I couldn't hit it. So now it's official. So what I want to do here is I want to put this almost in the pocket so I can just stun straight out here. I have to get enough of a leave that I can come out like right here for the 4 after I make the 3. That's pretty good. I can play this a couple ways. I can come up this way. I can kind of force it over here and out. As long as I just get on that line that I just kind of put my cue on the table. And I'm not doing that to market. I'm doing that just for visualization. Yeah, I went too far out. I should have done straight top and gone straight up and down the table. The other term for that shot is, here, Matt, you deal with it. because getting from the 3 to the 4 to the 5 is not straightforward. Here we can't really see much, so we'll draw some hair on Matt's head. Sorry, Matt, I couldn't help myself. Matt played a ton of inside and top and got really good on the 4. So the problem, what I'd like to do in playing this shot, I'd like to be able to play it with high inside and play like this. The problem is you're out of, up until this spot in this position line, you're out of position until you get to that spot. What he tried to do is the other way, with just coming one rail and out, which is great. The problem is the 6 and the 7 can get in the way a lot. He just happened to be able to clear all of them and got right through there. So that was a great shot, Matt. He almost wants to do the same thing here. I don't know if I'd draw it or I would just play center ball, because going into the 7 here is not a problem. Well, unless that would have happened. But still, he would have had a shot in the side. As it is, he left me no real shot. It's hard to play a two-way shot here where you try to try to bank the 5 here, trying to play the cue ball up here with a nice, because there's no real shot on the 6 after that. So I think I needed to play either safe or bank. And I just played safe, yeah. And I got that really good. The little bump on the 8 really helped, because now, I mean, everything is in a line here. So the play here is, you want to do one, these lines obviously aren't perfect, 1, 2 into the 5. The idea is the 5 goes this way, the cue ball heads up table. You could make the 5 too, but you really want that separation of get the 5 and the cue ball away from each other. That's exactly what he tried. He came a little bit short, but that was the right idea. Only way to get better at that shot is to play it 100 times. Just here, I'm wiping off Matt's miscue, I think, from the cue ball. This is the Aramith tournament set, standard color balls. They're like the highest resin formula or whatever, the best for no skids and things like that. But when you miscue on them, that chalk really holds the ball, even with like a Teom or I'm using the Pegalion chalk, which is essentially Teom in a square form. Here I'm going to play the 6 and the 7 both in the side, and then the 8 upper left and the right, or up, yeah, and the 9 upper right. Or that's what I was going to try. I didn't really hit that well. You could tell the ball was still kind of spinning, and I don't have the measles ball. I could take the ball from the other set, which is probably what I should do for these videos. This is just the cue ball that came with the set. I do have the Aramith black set. You guys have seen that, where the 4 and the 5 are different colors. 4 is pink and the 5 is purple. These have all normal color balls, but it doesn't have the measles cue ball. I could just switch them because they're the same makeup. In fact, I will do that. I'll make a note of doing that on the next video I record so you can see more of what the spin does, because unless that one dot shows, you don't know where the cue ball's spinning. But with this shot, I have tied the game up at 4. It is essentially a race to 3 from here. Now, last time in a match, might have been a money match, not against Matt, against somebody else. We were playing a race to 7. Actually, we were playing a race to 10, and it was tied 7-7. Wasn't necessarily shooting well. Opponent on his turn missed. I ran out whatever was left in that rack. Then I had a 9-ball break, and then I had a break and run. So it's a kind of a great way to end a match there. We're starting to talk now about why the corner ball is not going with the template rack. It should go all the time, which is both a benefit and a detractor of the template rack, but something is going on with it, so we're talking about if we should switch it out or not. Matt here ideally would like to replace the 1 with the cue ball, but that's not an easy shot at all. So instead he tried to go the other way. He left me just a little bit of the ball. I probably have don't know, half the ball here. So I'm gonna just fire away, play it in the lower right here, and kind of just hope I get a shot. I obviously need some water for this shot first. I don't know. I'd love to be able to play this with some draw and just bring it out to the rail and stop it, but I'm right on the rail here, so I just need to go all out and try to make this and just see what happens on the 2. And went right into these 2 balls, broke them away. I just opened the whole rack up, got perfect on the 2. I'm not saying that to like pat myself on the back or anything, although I maybe, but just saying that if you go for shots, sometimes good things can happen. You've seen plenty of shots where we go for them and we sell out, but in that case, it was a good thing. Good thing happened. Here, I want to just stun the cue ball back here, but I want to make sure I get an angle on this 4 so that I can come back down to the 5. So I actually would like it more up here if possible. Yep. And I purposely played it off the rail and with more draw because I have a tendency to get like dead straight in on these things. And then, imagine I'm straight in here. What am I going to do? I have to draw it back, hope I not scratch, and come all the way back here. Now I can just play 2 rails around the 8 and back here for the 5. Or around the 9, I'm sorry. Instead, I do this and almost scratch. The problem here, I wanted to be more up here, or even straight in would have been fine, because then I can come around and do the same thing where I come around here and go up for the 6. The problem here is now I'm heading this way, and I need to either try to hold it for the 6 or do something crazy or magical. Instead, I do that. Didn't scratch. Didn't leave Matt a great shot. It's hard to. You either have to jack up and play a super draw, off the rail and out, which is hard because your accuracy's, because you're queuing in the pocket, your accuracy is almost gone. Or you have to try to play like a forward and have the cue ball come this way and up. But I mean, I just drew an angle that's probably impossible to make. You almost have to play left spin on that to make that angle happen. He got really unlucky there that it didn't go in. But I got really lucky that I now have just a 1 rail angle that I can play up here. 2 ways to play this: either play it in the center like this or play it a little bit tighter. And well, imagine I hit the ball there and go here and kind of just float in. Instead, I did kind of the middle. I got good here because I didn't get on the rail. The problem is with this shot that I just did, you get stuck right here a lot. And then you're making yourself shoot a much harder shot on the 6. As it is, I can just stun out. I did not want to go anywhere near that far, and I almost got, if it would have gone harder off the rail, I would have been snookered right here behind the 8. I got lucky here. I can just play stop shot. The cue ball is just going to float out here, and then 8 and 9 are right there. Here, I'd like to get off the rail. I'm pretty straight. I may have to just take my medicine here. If I can bounce it off the rail and out, great. Otherwise, I'm just going for the stop shot. And in fact, I might even just try to bring it back right here. Look at that. This was not planned. This is the first time I've used the Telestrator on, actually the second, if you saw my other video, the KickSafe game, where I'll put a link somewhere to that video. However, I left myself in a good queuing spot where I was over the side pocket so I could cue the ball better, because otherwise I was going to be sitting on the rail. I always say that I play these stop shots and I practice them from all over the table, which I do. And I just missed it. No excuses there. I think I just missed it. I don't know if the stroke, I'd have to go back and look at how I stroked it, but I think I stroked it fine. I just missed. It just happens. Matt's stirring a little bit, but he gets there. And he has the lead at 5-4. Now, for some reason, it was almost slow motion, and then I got to figure the video thing out. All right, I promised I'd stop talking about that. Matt, go rewind this video and look back at your break. You did something really strange there I've never seen you do. But notice here, didn't make the corner ball at all. Didn't come close to it on either corner now because Matt's breaking from one side and I'm breaking from the other. So my guess is there's something going on with the template rack that's leaving a gap somewhere or unnatural positioning. Now here, if I can play this here and get around here, I'm in good spot, but I need to be, again, if we're drawing a pocket line, I need to be above this pocket line so that I can come back down for the 3. The 7 is kind of messing with me because it's a little close to the angle I need, and I think because of that I tried to, instead of just cutting it, I tried to spin it in with a lot of right, kind of throw it in, and not only did I not make the 1, I hit the 4, and none of that shot worked. That was not good. Matt has kind of a cool safety. You can play this with top and a little bit of right. Cue ball, or 1 ball goes this way, cue ball comes off, kind of sits behind the 5. Let's see what he does here. Instead he went this way. I think he tried to get behind the 4. He might be okay here. I might be fully snookered behind this 6 ball, and I'm on top of the 4 ball. My only real shot here now is, sorry, 1 rail kick into the 1, and then just hope to get lucky somehow. Like that. Wait, that's not what was supposed to happen. That's the problem with kicks like that. I mean, you're kicking the ball in the middle of the table, you're at the mercy of whatever happens, and the 4 ball made that corner pocket really big, so Matt's joking he's lining up the 1-9. Probably not the most ideal shot on the table. If you can fit the cue ball in here, that's kind of where he wants to go. He wants to keep on this side of this 2 ball pocket line, so he can come back, you know, kind of float over for the 3 after he makes the 1. Instead, he kind of crushed it. I don't know how he's getting on the 3 here. If you can draw straight back and he has an angle, he could maybe, I mean, he's shooting the 2 up here, well, not through the 8, but he's shooting the 2 up here. He might be able to draw this straight back, depending on how much angle he has. I don't think he has enough angle to do that, but I could be wrong. It's hard to tell from this angle here. He could have done it, actually. The cue ball was starting to go this way, and I think he could have done it with a little bit more forced draw. He did more stun there. When you do more forced draw, it's gonna spin more off the ball and then take a slightly different angle off of it. Here, I don't know if he's lining up on this really quickly. I don't know if he's trying to cut it or play around the 4, or I think he was trying to play behind the 4 here. That's a tough shot. You're stretched over. I don't know if he had enough room to really make it. It's not really spin at that point. It's how thick you hit the 3 ball. I don't really have a shot here, so I'm going to try to play this, and the cue ball either here, somewhere in this area where I leave it safe. And the 3 ball should come down here. I missed the 9, but I got really good on the 8. So in that shot, kind of playing almost a 2-way safe, which is kind of weird. Kind of aiming it to go behind the 9, but with the understanding that it could come, come all the way over. And even if it hit the gap like here, the 6 is blocking it there. So he's just 1 rail or 2 rail kicking this. Yep, he went the 2 rail route. That was the way to go. He's going to get unlucky. I don't know. He's going to get really lucky here. But yeah, that 2 rail leave to go here, down on the rail and a hit into it. A lot of good things can happen. You can make the 3. You can do this. You can scratch because you're sending the cue ball in a different ways. But I like that much better than trying to go after it to make it. Here I'm just playing this with some right and trying to hit it and hope something neat happens. This is from that situation, if you told me this is where I was going to end up, I would take this every time. Like if you would say, hey, you can either leave this or go after it and try to make a better shot, I would say, okay, just leave this. He has some safeties, obviously. It's a very, very tough cut, but I would say the safe to play is almost the same thing I did. Play up here, aim the cue ball for back here. 3 ball is going to go down here. And now you even have a bigger wall. You probably have from, say, here all the way over to here to be able to leave that cue ball. It's a little bit tougher because the angle is not as natural it was for when I shot the 3. You're going to have to use some lower right here, lower left. Instead, he tried to go at the bank, but I think he got okay on it too. In fact, I'm pretty sure he got okay. This one is kind of weird. I really would like to kick head, and that angle's bad. I want to kick straight in so the 3 ball kind of goes this way, and the cue ball kind of stays down there. Almost exactly like that, except I did not want to double kiss the 3. So I had the right idea. Probably put a hair too much either top or right on it. Did not leave a shot. I mean, there's not... I think the combo is the only thing he can really do here. He could play... He could play to bank the 3 down and up. And the cue ball goes here and here. And then even if you don't... Even if he leaves a gap... It probably still gets separation. Looks like he's trying the combo though. Yeah, that was never going to be an easy shot. Kind of like my bank up the middle of the table better. It's hard. You got to hit it pretty accurately because the 7 is in the way. You want to beat the 7, but I might have just told him that. And again, we have copyrighted music playing in the background when we play these, so I mute all the audio and put some YouTube music on. There I could have drawn over and gotten more down here, but I didn't want to hit the 4 and get in a weird spot, so I just took that. This leads to a natural 1 or 2 rail leave up here somewhere. How did I do in my line? A little short. Now, was the shot short or was the telestrator short? I think the telestrator is where I'd like to be because then I could have just played a stop shot in the 5. Now I have to go, now the cue ball is going this way. That's why I'm looking at this so long. Probably going to want to play this, try to get around both. Come back around this way. Or that. Which is absolutely not what I wanted to do. Remember the game a while ago where I said Matt could have drawn that 6 ball off the 9? See how much spin the cue ball, or you see what this cue ball did as soon as it hit the 9? That's kind of that spin transfer I was talking about. Here I almost got in trouble making playing right into the 7, but I can just come like straight down and up this way. Angle on the 8 almost doesn't matter because the 8 and the 9 are so close together. I might even come all the way down and out this way. Yep, that's kind of what I did. Don't have a great angle on the 8. I can either play this 2 rails out or I can just stun it across. Whatever I'm feeling at the time, I think I'm going high and doing the 2 rails out. Depending on your angle too, sometimes the angle leads to a direct scratch. Here I got a good enough on the 9. This is a 95% shot, maybe 90, 85, 87, 100% shot. And we're tied up at 5. Yeah, so one thing that I don't know if we did it or not, we may have replaced the rack already, and I cut that footage out. Oh, actually, Matt just looked at it, so I don't think we did. I don't know what we did. I have no idea. But at some point during this match, we replaced we're using the Teo Max rack. They are much thinner. I think they're even thinner than the Matchroom version of the Magic rack. The gray triangle that you see on the Matchroom. I have those as well. There's no 8-ball rack for that, but when these Teo ones came out, There are 3 for Sieberts or Seiberts or however you pronounce that has them 3 for 1850 right now, and that's a great deal. They wear out more often than the other ones do, but for 3 for $18, that's much better. What I tried to do there is I did not try to make the one. I'm not that bad of a shot sometimes. I did try to play the cue ball around underneath these, but I ended up hitting the 5, so I sold out the shot. Maybe should have just tried to play and make the shot. Who knows? Maybe I was trying to make the shot. Matt got a little extra jabby there and just missed. I think I'm going to do what I did down on the bottom rail here, where I just try to leave the cue ball like right here. I got to find the better angle to leave the cue ball to not let him kick at it. Because I think he can still kick this way. I'm not sure. Like being right here would have been better, taking off that bottom or that top rail kick. Because if I do that, then he has to go this way, and doing that bridged over the ball over half the table is a much harder shot. Here, I think he can hit this and just clip the 1 coming out. We'll see what happens. Well, he hit it, but Matt, go back and look at that stroke. That was the epitome of the 1-stroke poke shot. You kind of lined it up, and then you just got down and wham. Here, I'd love to kick and stick this, send the 1 ball somewhere down here, ideally off the rail down here, and just leave the cue ball up there. But caught the 1 thin and sent the cue ball out. Here, Matt should have just basically a stun kill. I don't know what we call it. We got to find out a new name of these shots. Bring it basically out here for the 2. And the 2 and 3 are right there, getting on the 5 is right there, getting on the 6. Assuming the 1 goes in here and he has a shot in the 2, he made it a little bit harder because he didn't draw it. Instead, he played more center ball, maybe even a little bit of top there. This is going to be tough. If he cuts it, he has to play like straight right on it. Kind of just hold the cue ball on this line. Maybe even go back and forth a couple rails. And instead he went all out for the make, but because there was no right spin on it to kill the angle of the cue ball came out down here. Now he has a much harder shot on the 3. I don't even know if he can get on the 5 here. The position you really want to play to get on the 5 is going to be here, 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 and over. But I don't think he's doing that either. I think he might be trying to hold it to get like over here somewhere, which is going to cause him to miss this a lot or scratch. Yeah, if you don't put follow on that, that's going to scratch a lot. So now the real issue here is the 7 to the 8, lesser extent the 8 to the 9. So I need to play this 5, and I need to get out so I can get a good angle on the 6 to get an angle on the 7. A couple of different ways I can do it. That wasn't great. I should have just played to be straight on with it. Then I could just stun over. Instead, got this kind of weird angle where I either have to punch it or I have to do this kind of follow 2 rails like that. Now that said, I still got on it fine. Here, if I can, I'd like to draw it here, here, and over. I don't know if I have that much angle. I might have to just come straight across and play it on the short side. Yeah. But I have enough angle on here where I can play a number of different shots to get to the 9. 2 rails this way. I can play 1 rail straight up and down. I can follow it this way. It's just 3 or 4 different ways to play this. I do like the 2 rails having it come off the second rail. It slows the cue ball down and gets it into the right line. I almost missed the 8 there. We won't talk about that. And here I have one of these shots that everyone should practice because they come up in almost every game. Especially with the template. When you have the template or a nice triangle rack and decent pool balls and not Euro mines, you can get the 9 ball is going to stay there. See how the 9 ball just floated there a little bit on the break, and that was it. So let's see. I can cut the 1, but I'm hitting probably the 7, maybe the 4. And then I'm in trouble on the 3. I don't think I have enough angle to play like a stop shot bank where I just play the 1 kind of like here behind the 5 and leave the cue ball here. Could cut the 1 into the 5, bring the cue ball back around this way. Instead, it looks like I'm doing something dangerous. Okay, I'm using the 2 and 7 and trying to get the 1 over on line here. That worked out pretty well from the looks of it. That one was tough because I had to control both the cue ball and the 1 ball speed. Almost made it. And I think he left. I think he left me a shot. If he did, I can just come straight down here. Hit the 6 is fine, and then play the 3. Getting on the 4 is going to be difficult. I don't know what I was doing there. I think I was trying to go into the 6, and I just hit it entirely too hard. If I can cut this in, that'd be great. I don't know if I can hit the 8 or not. Oh. Okay, I know what I was doing. That was kind of a two-way shot. I was trying to bank it, but I was also trying to draw the cue ball back here. You know, kind of drawing it straight back. In case if I miss, he doesn't have a shot, or I can. Yeah, there's really no place for the 4 that I could get on and maybe get, maybe leave it here and play it on the side if I make it or something like that. As it is, he still has to deal with getting on the 4. He can kind of do it if he can miss the 9 coming down here, 1 rail up. I don't know if he can miss the 9 though. He could draw it over too. Yeah, like that. It's getting a little bit harder though. You get a little bit on a line, and then the next shot's a little bit harder, next shot's a little bit harder, and 3 or 4 balls down, you're in kind of no man's land. This, I think he has to draw off the 7. Yeah. Like that, but better. I'm sitting in a weird spot here. I can play this all the way down in the corner. It's a harder shot. The cue ball is going to kind of go this way and out. I can play it in the side, but the cue ball, I have to miss the 8 and then come back. That's why I stood up on it, because I don't like the angles that I have here. Looks like I'm going on the side here, and I need to miss the 8 both on the way down and the way back up. Oh, or that's right, I remember that shot. I went into the 8 on purpose because I realized the angle was pretty much there to hit it head on. Now that can get dangerous, because if you hit it off to the side, your cue ball can fly off, and then the spin transfer or speed transfer we were talking about before, I could actually have wound up behind the 6 or something here. As it is, I managed to hit the 8, not get it tied up with the 9, and get in a decent spot. Now here I want to do this one of these. This is one of those draw shots with lower left. I want the draw to take first, come up table, and then as it hits here, kind of have a spin take. I drew that really badly, but basically that. You saw, if you go back a little bit, you saw it kind of warp backwards first, then hit the rail, and then spin up. Here I don't want to try to get below the 9, so I need to get somewhere on this side of the table. I have a giant area to get into. I used some upper left and I kind of got to the edge of that line. It was probably a little dangerous, but I still had probably a foot of leeway there. Here, straight top and maybe a hair of left. Just kind of cut the angle off and One of the more routine 9-balls that I've had in this set. And this should take us to the win. Make sure the scoreboard lights up. And we're done. So, Matt had a couple of really good racks in there. He got me the first one, and I thought it was in a hole. It was tough to come back. I wasn't shooting all that great towards the end. I think Matt made a couple more mistakes than I did. I managed to pull it out, but there it is. Not sure what we're gonna do for the next match. Let me know if you liked this format. Let me know if it's okay to cut out all the stuff between racking and just, instead of speeding it up, just completely cut it out. Because if that's not a problem, I'll just do that from now on. But in any case, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, a little bell if you want to be notified of when I upload videos and stuff. And until next time, we'll see you later.